Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled among the gentle hills, there lived a young girl named Anya. Anya was a curious soul, her heart brimming with questions about the world and her place within it. She would often wander the nearby forest, the rustle of the leaves her only companion, as she pondered the mysteries of life. One sunny afternoon, as Anya ventured deeper into the woods than usual, she stumbled upon a clearing. There, under the shade of a wise old banyan tree, sat a monk. His saffron robes glowed in the dappled sunlight, and his eyes held a depth of peace that drew Anya like a moth to a flame. "Hello," Anya spoke, her voice little more than a whisper. The monk smiled, the wrinkles around his eyes crinkling with warmth. "Hello, young one. What brings you to this quiet corner of the world?" Anya hesitated, a jumble of thoughts swirling through her mind. Finally, she settled on the question that had been burning brightest within her. "Master," she began, the word feeling strange on her tongue, "can you teach me about happiness? What makes a good life?" The monk chuckled, and the sound was like the gentle chime of a temple bell. "Those are wise questions for one so young. Come, sit, and let us speak of them." With eager steps, Anya sat beside the monk, her eyes wide with anticipation. "Happiness," the monk began, "is a fleeting thing. Like chasing butterflies on a windy day. The tighter you try to grasp it, the quicker it slips away." Anya frowned. "But everyone wants to be happy, don't they?" "Indeed," the monk nodded, "but they often misunderstand where true happiness lies. They see it in riches, in belongings, in the approval of others. Buddhism teaches us that these things are impermanent. They can be lost, stolen, broken, and then your happiness crumbles. True happiness, my child, lies within." He tapped a gentle finger on Anya's chest. Puzzled, Anya looked down at herself. All she saw was her simple tunic and old sandals. "I don't understand," she confessed. The monk's smile widened. "The key is to look past your worries and the things you wish you had. To avoid dwelling on the past or fretting about the future. Instead, be fully present in this moment. Learn to appreciate the feel of sunlight on your skin, the birdsong in your ears, the very breath that fills your lungs." A spark ignited in Anya's eyes. She'd never truly thought about the present moment before. It always seemed like a bridge between what was and what might be. The monk continued, "And this is just the beginning. Buddhism teaches us that suffering comes from desire. We want, and when we don't get what we want, we feel sadness or anger. But is it wrong to want things?" Anya asked. The monk shook his head. "It is not wrong, but it is like drinking salty water to quench your thirst. For a moment you are satisfied, but the craving soon returns stronger than before. True peace comes from understanding that happiness is found not in getting, but in simply being." Anya absorbed this, turning the wisdom over and over in her mind. "There is much more the Buddhist teachings can offer," the monk explained. "The path to understanding, to ending suffering. But the lessons must be lived, not just learned." With that, he stood, the simple motion graceful and deliberate. Anya rose with him. "Kind master," she said earnestly, "will you take me as your student? I long to learn more." The monk looked at her with eyes that held centuries of wisdom. "A true student seeks the path themselves, young one. But should our paths intertwine again, I shall gladly share what little I know." Anya returned to her village that evening with her head swirling with new thoughts. She didn't have all the answers, but she had begun her journey. And somewhere in the forest, under the watchful gaze of the banyan tree, the wise old monk smiled, for he knew a single spark can ignite a lifelong search for wisdom.